channel in all the interwebs. My name is Ben. Every day on this channel, I show you how to make money in cryptocurrency. I don't make boring 20-minute videos or talk over your head. If you like money in crypto, make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you like our daily live streams also, smash that like up for us, guys. It is going to be a huge show, a huge week. Guys, we have got confirmation. Bitcoin is in the process of breaking out right now. We are moving to the upside, exactly as I predicted. On Saturday night, I came on here and I made a video talking with you guys about the stimulus checks. Guys, did that just kind of come out of nowhere? I felt like it seemed like we've been talking about this at the end of last year, and then we never got our free money printing service. And then all of a sudden this weekend, we got the confirmation. The Senate has approved it. All it's waiting for is for Biden to approve it. That will be a done deal. Those checks will be sent out in the next 10 days. You will start getting those checks if you are getting a stimulus. So this is the fuel we need. You can kind of think of Bitcoin as a runaway freight train. Then it's been running out of steam. But now we've got the coal loaded in there for the engine, and we are going to be heading straight toward the moon. And guys, I don't think anybody would argue that at this point. What we needed to get this bull run kicked off was stimulus money, and what we needed now is more stimulus money, and it is coming. Bad for the United States economy, great for Bitcoin. I wish it were another way. I wish it could be good for the economy and good for Bitcoin, but unfortunately, the people making decisions in Washington, not just this administration, just in general, are all, let's just say, not high-Q individuals, and they think we can print money forever. And then one money supply that's gone parabolic, that it doesn't even matter, but it does. Also, guys, it's time to get back to ETH. Where are my ETH heads? Where is hashtag ETH gang?
Yes. Okay. Say we love ETH in the chat if you're an Ethereum holder.
No. Put hashtag ETH gang.
ETH gang?
That's what I want to see. I want to see the ETH gang in the chat, guys. Because after a few weeks of kind of down action for Ethereum, where it's been quite boring, got a huge video for you tonight. It's 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on Ethereum. The price manipulation that's been going on, and now we're free. We are now ready for Ethereum to run off. I've got something on the charts to show you today, something to show you on Market Cypher you're not going to believe. It's the most bullish signal on Ethereum that we've had since February? Since January? Since 2020? Since December? Since October of 2020. Which, guys?
A lot of ETH gang in the chat.
ETH gang, guys. It's time. Guys, Ethereum's just been kind of boring, and we figured out why. We'll be talking about that tonight on the video. But today, I'm going to be showing you the thing on the charts that, to me, is the most bullish signal we've had yet. We may end up pushing back over towards 2,500, maybe only 1 month later, almost exactly as I predicted. So, guys, I tell you what, for the rest of my life, Valentine's Day is going to be a day of mourning with my wife.
2,500 Valentine's Day is the new 28 to 3.
Yeah, it's 28 to 3. Y'all just say you don't even have to say, you just say Valentine's Day. That's all you got to say. V-Day. But it doesn't matter, guys. We are going to be back on the upswing, and we're very excited. We're going to be showing you guys a little bit of some behind-the-scenes strategy that's been going on around here. A little bit of a chess game that we've been playing. And I think it's going to pay off, or it did pay off very big for us last week. Can't wait to share that with you. You guys got to know I'm smarter than the average bear out there. I've got little birdies too, just like Charles. Charles isn't the only one with little birdies, and they whisper things to me, and I hear things, and then I punish those who try to come at us. Boom. That's right. All right, guys, let's kick it off. 612,000 subscribers to the BitBoy Crypto YouTube channel. Thank you to everybody for subscribing to the channel. You guys can also check out our other channels, New Money Gang and Hit Network, where you guys get to see the behind-the-scenes footage that goes on here. We'll have another video there for you today, I believe. And also, guys, we're going to be shooting a new channel trailer. Be pretty exciting. So if you guys want to see that, make sure to smash the like button. So here we go, guys. Let's check out the markets. We've got right now the market cap over $1.5 trillion, almost $1.6 trillion. Very big, because we know $1.5 trillion for this market cap has been a huge area of resistance. And so last week, if you remember, excuse me, today's show brought to you by water. Thank you to Essential Water for hooking us up. Essentia, we're almost out of bottles. So I don't know, maybe you'll want to send me an email saying, I sent you some more. So I'm just saying. That's pretty good. You guys like that? That was a good dad joke. I'm just saying. Sometimes even I laugh at my own. I laugh at all my jokes.
I was going to say, most of the time.
Sometimes even TJ laughs. But guys, I want you guys some numbers here that are pretty interesting. If you remember last week, we looked at Justin Bennett on Twitter had made a chart where he showed a channel that the overall market cap was going in. And it looked like we still needed to come down to the bottom of that channel. Well, the news this weekend seemed to kind of erase that. The news this weekend regarding the stimulus could be what we need to get a breakout, because here's what you have to understand about channels. When you look at a channel on a chart that's going either up or down, it can easily break below or break above. But most likely, when it gets to the outer edges of those channels, it's going to bounce in between. That's kind of how we know price points to go in with. I'm going to show you a price point I went in last night on a trade that worked out really, really well for me. And, that's a good thing because we know kind of where charts indicate the numbers are going. But the thing is that sometimes you get a breakout or you get a breakdown. And when you get that breakout, it starts to move above the channel, and then it starts to establish price discovery, and then, or just establish a new channel. And I think the stimulus news over the weekend is what we needed to basically get that done. I believe now we are breaking up. We are heading to the next leg of this bull run. Something else I want to show you guys. Look at that, guys. The 24-hour volume, still very low, 117 billion. What do you make about that, TJ, that the volume has not really been matching the excitement level?
That is interesting. I'd wonder if there's a lot more over-the-counter stuff going on than we're used to in past cycles. Like big money institutional buys that are making massive buys that aren't necessarily going to show up in this data.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It is strange.
I wonder how much of that lack of volume is, from the mining pools that have not been selling nearly as much, even though the last, couple hours there was a big sell, which we'll talk about later, a big sale. Guys, look at this, though. Bitcoin dominant 60.1%, hovering still at 60%, ready to break down. Yeah. And look at this. Ethereum up almost a full percent of Ethereum dominance on the market. So let's check out the overall markets right now. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, and Polkadot all hovering around the same range. Tether, once again, is slid into that number 3 spot. We have Uniswap with a huge move this weekend. And guys, I'm setting up some wallets for my family, for my wife to have her own crypto, and for my kids to have their own crypto. And my wife said that my kids, they're in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink. My daughter got in Chainlink. My oldest son, it was very interesting. I said, son, do you know what Bitcoin is? He's like, yeah, it's kind of like gold and you mine it. I was like, okay. He's got it. He understands. There you go. So he actually wanted Ethereum. My youngest kid took Bitcoin. My daughter took Chainlink. And my wife, I had to have a talk with her last night because I said, honey, what do you want? And she said, I want the unicorn. And I said, really? Uniswap? She said, yes. She said, it's up 30% today. Yeah. I said, honey, you don't want the coin that's just pumped. You don't want to get in at the top of a 30% pump, which maybe I robbed her because it's still up 8% since then. But it's just like, it just shows like kind of the new investor that comes into the space. It makes sense to want to get in. You see something green going up. You're like, that's exciting. But you got to realize that means it's already went up. You want something that is going to go up because, if you've been in this for a while, we get a lot of retracements. Let's look at the last 24 hours. Chili's continuing to kill it. I want my bag back. I want my bag back. That didn't work. No. Didn't work at all. That was terrible.
Nice try, though.
Well, I made the baby back joke last week. So, anyways. Engine continuing to crush it. And we got some secret info on Engine.
Yeah.
We can't really talk about it at this point.
Big stuff in the works.
Big stuff in the works with Engine. Like stuff that will blow your mind. I'm just saying maybe involve in another ecosystem. I don't know. We'll just have to see what it is. You guys will learn more about that in the future. Quant. I don't know anything about Quant. That might be one we want to check out. H-bar up 17%. Luna, we told you this one was going to have a big month. And look, it's up 52% for the week. Celsius, Theta Fuel, Tezos, another one we told you was going to do well this month. UMA, Theta making a charge towards the top 10 here pretty soon. It does seem like. And then Doge with another pump from Elon Musk. So guys, let's get into the Bitcoin chart here because there's some really interesting stuff going on that I believe you guys should know about. Now, here, I don't know if we've ever seen this before. I don't know if we've ever seen a blood diamond on the daily chart. This is Market Cipher. Of course, if you guys want to get Market Cipher, you guys can head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals. Head on down to Trading Tools and click Market Cipher. We've been crushing it with Market Cipher. We'll come back to this in a second. But I'm looking right here. We've just seen something in the daily chart that I honestly don't know if we've ever seen before. I don't think we've ever seen this before in the history of the Bybit Bitcoin chart. So let's come on over here to the daily. And as you guys see, we actually, the other day, we got this blood diamond right here. And this blood diamond was very concerning. The reason being is because you got the red blood diamond, but you also got the, let me get rid of this drawing so I can do it a little bit tighter here. Okay, all right. But you also got right after it, or right below it, you had the X. And when you get the X and the blood diamond, that is not a good sign. That means a huge dump could be coming. So we got very concerned at the end of last week. Started looking, to exit some positions and things like that. It was very concerning. But the thing is that when you look at the price now, like, was that it? Is this all that we saw were two red candles? And I'm going to say I believe that it was. Why is that? Well, on Market Cipher, you guys have to understand, a lot of people will send me messages and they will say things like, oh, I see this red diamond right here, a red blood diamond, and this means the price is going down. This right here, I know it's kind of hard to see, it's tiny on the screen, but that's the point, it's tiny. These tiny red diamonds just mean like maybe a bear pattern is forming. That does not mean anything dramatic, okay? These small red diamonds are just clues you should start paying attention. But when you look at the red blood diamond, the large red diamonds, this means that there is a large dump coming. And I mean, you could argue that after we got that, it did drop, 6.5%. But if you look back at the previous times we got the blood diamonds, there weren't, there were much larger drops than that, usually in the 15% range, okay? But here's the interesting thing. This was kind of a red herring, I think. No pun intended. I remember an episode of Scooby-Doo when I was a kid, learning about red herrings. Wasn't there a character on that show named Red Herring? Yes. Not the old school one, like the one from the 90s. But here's on the chart what I'm looking at with Bitcoin. You got your red blood diamond with your red X, but look at that. Right after that, 2 days later, you get the yellow diamonds or the greenish diamonds. There's like kind of greenish yellow. This means continuation of a bull pattern. So this means even though we got the red blood diamond, meaning the price should go down considerably, we got a 7% drop. It bounced off of the EMA ribbon here and went back up, and we're still bullish. So this to me is just a sign of, I think, a lot of manipulation in the market, pushing the price down. And we've seen that. We've seen a lot of manipulation in the price for sure. So kind of what are we looking at? Let's head on over to the 4-hour chart and see kind of what Market Cipher is telling us in the short term for Bitcoin. I'm not seeing anything bearish, guys. I'm not seeing anything bearish in the chart. The only thing I guess you could kind of look at the 4-hour chart and say a little bit bearish is the fact that the RSI right here, this little red tail right here, it's gone from green. You guys can see the green here. It's gone from green, which means oversold, to red, which means overbought, which means the price could be overvalued a little bit. But when you look back at the previous runs when we went parabolic, like for instance here in the beginning of February, like we were in red that entire time. You guys can look down here and see the red line, following along right there. And the reason is when the prices start going up, like of course you're going to be oversold. That's what creates pressure for a correction. So right now, the fact that we are starting to peak into that oversold on the 4-hour chart when we were overbought for a long period of time as the price was dipping and consolidating, I think it's extremely bullish. And when you go back and you look, one thing that I'm looking at right now is, and I know it's kind of hard to see here. Let me pull this up a little bit. One thing I'm starting to see is that look at this W right here. You guys see this W, this green W right here? Look at that, and then look at what the price did right after, okay? The price shot straight up, and then we stayed in oversold throughout that, overbought throughout that entire move up. That would have been in February. Look over here. You guys see the same pattern. See the W? Boom right there. And then look, parabolic move to the upside. That's what it looks like. This is not like a staggered line. It's a straight up. And so when you look at this and you look back at this, in my opinion, we are going to see the same thing that we saw right here. Let me make a better circle here. We're going to see the same thing we saw right here. We're going to have a lot of green. And look, guys, look, here's more bullish signs right here. Look right here. You guys see that little tiny green strip? You can't even see it. It's right here at the bottom of the blue line. That's the money flow. Money flow once again going into the green like we saw back here. So in my opinion, I think that the price is about to, continue up very high, very excited about it. Let's talk about the forecast for March for Bitcoin specifically, because I think this is something really important. Now, this is our BitBoy Crypto signature report from Exablock. You guys can go to exablock.com. That's EXXA block.com. You guys can use the code BitBoy. You guys can get 10% off this report. You get it every single day delivered to your box. There it is, exablock.com right there. Oh, I like how it switched the dots and the pixels there to line up. That was cool. What I want to show you guys on the report, this is the main thing we look at. Now, we're trying to get this report more personalized, so it'll have more of our information that we want. Like I want to look at F2 pool outflows every single day. There's a lot of stuff I want to look at every day. But when it comes to futures contracts, okay, and you look at the open interest, you guys get this on Bitcoin here, and also there's one down here on Ethereum. You guys notice, what is the killer day? March 26th. So March 26th is when the most futures contracts expire. Most of the time when we see this, we see the prices fall very dramatically usually. Why is that? Well, it's because these institutions, they use these futures contracts as a hedge against their crypto holdings. So there's no motivation for them to push the prices up. It's actually more motivating for them to push the prices down as the options expire, cash out on those, and then let the prices rise back up. So probably towards the end of the month, we are going to see, and why is this March date so important? Well, when you look through, you guys see in the next 2 days, hardly anything expiring. On Friday, we have some expirations, but not that big. And then we have March 19th. We'll have some expiring as well. I would expect, honestly, kind of what I think we're going to see is I think we're going to see the price of Bitcoin pump for the next 4 days. And on Friday, we will get a little bit of a retracement based on this. But this March date is really important because not only is this the close or the expiration of the futures contracts at the end of the month, this is the last Friday of the month, but also it's the last Friday of quarter one, of Q1. Is that what you were going to say, TJ?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah, good point.
Close of the month and close of the quarter.
Man, guys, when you guys tell me I did a good job, I love it. But when TJ tells me great point, gosh, man.
Hits a little different.
It does hit a little different. So anyways, guys, that's what we're expecting to see with March. Now, where are we on the new pool and some more Bitcoin data? Now, if you want some more information on the new pool, we will be covering this. Sorry, I should have fixed my screen. We will be covering this actually with Chris from Crypto today at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to see some relevance of the new pool and kind of my forecast on what we could see, you can check that out on my channel at 2. But the thing is we are not in euphoria right now, and that's definitely a good thing. We've fallen, and even as things have started to turn a little bit, we haven't got a move back to the upside. And when you really look at the overall of the new pool, this is the net unrealized profit and loss. Whenever we're in blue, it's bad. That means that prices are probably about to plummet. What's really interesting to me is if you go back and you look at in 2017 where we were the closest to this line and didn't get it, and Chris talks about this a little bit today, we were at like $2,500. $2,500. And where did Bitcoin go? Bitcoin went all the way, of course, to $20,000. Now, what's interesting is that math doesn't look correct, right? 2,500, you're right next to the line. And by 2 dips later, the price went all the way down to 3,700. higher than that $2,500 price point where we were at the peak of this, and the price was actually lower on a dip. So the thing is, a lot of this just has to do with entry points. And when we have big moves to the upside, a lot of people get in on those moves and they're not necessarily in profit. And then the prices drop and those people are now at a negative. That's what we want. We don't want people to lose money. But for the health of the market, that's what we need. Whenever we got somebody buying, we got to have somebody selling. In addition, guys, I want to check out F2 Pool because here's some data as well to look at. F2 Pool is not really, if we go and we look at the daily, they've been on quite a decline on the amount that they're selling. But what's really interesting is we did get a CME gap over the weekend, which we're going to talk a little bit in a second. But what happened last night or early this morning? We actually got F2 Pool dumping down to the CME gap. And this happened, they sold almost 2,000 in an hour. And what did the price do? It dropped a little bit, but not very much. We're holding 5,100 pretty good right now. So let's check out my trades here. So right now, and of course, if you want to trade on Bybit, head on over to bitboycrypto.com/deals, and you can click here to go to Bybit and sign up. Also, guys, we do have a contest. We didn't really talk about the contest a lot over last week. It's over. We did have winner. The top 5 winners are going to split $6,000. I would pull that up right now, but I don't know if I can find it. Let's see. I think it was 93. Yeah, here it is. So we will pull up and celebrate these guys here. I did not do very well on the contest for sure, because we'll talk about why in a second. But Crypt Keeper, Abyss Walker, Joker, Coyote Quick, and whoever this is from Russia, all had over 134% gains, and they split the 5 prizes. I think it was the top 5 are going to win. The 6 through 10 actually. So the rest of these people, including Street Spirit and Young Trader, they all won a share of that $6,000. So congratulations to everybody that participated in the contest. We didn't talk about the contest as much last time. The main reason is because we lost the page, because we upgraded the website and we lost the page we made to kind of track it. So it is what it is. But I want to talk about my trade that I made. Let's see, should we talk about my trade right now? Yeah, we're going to talk about my trade. Actually, let's not. Let's talk about my trade that I made on Friday during the live stream. Guys, so here's what's really interesting. Last week, now, look, here's the thing. We got some little birdies amongst the ranks of a lot of groups out there. And there was a very specific group, which I'm not going to call them out by name because I don't want to give them that clout. There's a group that has been counter-trading us live on our streams, not F2 Pool. We have a lot of evidence. We got a lot of screenshots. We know every single thing they said. Now we got people in the chat, so we know everything that goes on in there. And they have been counter-trading me. So me, being not an idiot, basically what I did was I set them up. So what happened is on Friday, you guys might have known, we went a little overkill with it because I was trying to get them to come at me. So my poker face wasn't the greatest because we were crushing this trade. We made back all of the gains that we lost in the last 2 streams where they were trading us down. We made it all back with a short. So, guys, you got to be smarter than the average bear around here, okay? We went a little overkill because we got a little excited because it was going so well. But I said, going in long at $47,650. And if you notice on the stream, we told you guys, be careful. Don't trade like we're trading. Don't do what we're doing. I was trying to warn you guys. We got to fight fire with fire sometimes. So going in long at $47,650, liquidation. Look, I gave my liquidation. $46,300. I wanted to get liquidated on the stream so bad I couldn't stand it. I think I'm golden. No way I can lose this one. So what did these goobers do? Also, Igor, you can suck it. I want you to know that, sir. You will never defeat me. I can't be beaten. I'm undefeated in this game. You should know that by now. But these people, they still want to come at the champ. That's okay. I can take a punch and I can swing. So what happened? They decided that right when I made that tweet, you can go and you can match the times. And this is on the minute chart. And look what happened right after I made that tweet. Got a blood diamond all the way down here to the LOX. This is when they decided, oh, wait, I think he's baiting us into it, which I was. I went too overkill. I wish I would have been a little more cool about it, but I was just so excited to take these guys to Pound Town. So that's what we did. We got them a first-class ticket, And what was going on the other side, you guys couldn't see, is our people counter trading that with some huge shorts, making back all the money we had lost. So, guys, undefeated. Okay, come take a swing. Come at me. That's all I got to say. BitSquad's too strong for this type of crap. So that's fine. If y'all want to play chess, just trust me, I'm a grandmaster. Okay, you don't want to come at me on that. So that's what we did last week. So I'm gonna show you guys what we're doing right now. And of course, this is all I'll say. Whenever we're talking about trades on the stream, we now have them hedged. So you can take that for what it's worth. So guys, had not had a good run on Bybit. All of these losses that we had were part of this counter trading scheme that these guys had. They were literally counter trading me, and also they've been trying to break into my crypto quant. They've been doing a lot of stuff to try to throw the blame. They want me to come on the stream and say, F2 pull, they're counter trading. They want to make memes out of me. Oh God, I'm losing money. Oh gosh, guys, if you only knew how much we laugh at that. So that's what they were doing. All of these red trades, and this is a risk you do when you trade live. And they've actually got this strategy now to where when they've actually now got market cipher, when they see green dots, they're going to try to counter trade it. Well, the swell of money coming in here soon is not going to allow them to really do that. And if they do, everybody knows who they are now. So, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to give them the clout of saying their name on my channel, but it is what it is. So where we are right now in our, we got logged out. Dang it. We got logged out of our, oh gosh, I don't want to log back in right now because I have to get on the VPN. So the point here is right now, this is not part of my scheme not to show my trades. Somehow I got logged off. It is what it is. I don't want to get on the VPN on the stream. Might mess stuff up. What we did last night. So let's come back. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart here. Let's look at the CME. This is the CME Bitcoin chart. Okay, now this is not important for me to show these indicators. So let me remove the drawings, remove the indicators. Okay, so here we go. So what happened last night, or when it closed? Is this it? Is this the CME? No, it's this one. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, so what happened is we had a gap. There was a gap that had developed because here's the 8th, here's the 5th. The gap was at $49,500. So I guess it was right here. Is this the 4? I got to go to the daily. That's why. On the daily, there it is. You can only get the CME gap on the daily chart. So here we go. This is on the 5th. Okay. So what had happened is on Friday, this is where Bitcoin had closed. Okay. Bitcoin had closed right here. Oops. Go here. I want to zoom in on this a little bit here to show you guys. Okay. Bitcoin had closed right there. This morning when Bitcoin had opened, and let's move these over to regular candles instead of the Heiken Ashi, okay? What happens is there's a gap that develops, okay? If I were to remove that, you guys would see that from here to the open of this candle, there was a gap. And whenever we have this gap, it's hard to see now because the wick filled it earlier today. Whenever we have these gaps, what you'll see is you usually get these filled. So what I did last night is I set a huge trade, we are now back up to like 40 grand in the contest, the 10K to 100K Bybit challenge, which is kind of crazy because we gone from 10,000 to 70,000. Now lost it all. Lost it all with these people counter trading me. We made the money back on the back end, but for the challenge, we were down. And so I decided, last night before I went to bed, I set an order to fill at $49,500, which was exactly where this gap was. And I set a take profit or a stop loss on it. So that way, if it went down below 49,000, I would have got stopped out. But what happened? It went right down there beautifully, filled the gap. I got one of my friends in the trade. If you guys watch the behind the scenes stuff on Hit Network, I got Jim in the trade. Jim made so much money last night. He woke up and he was like, I can't believe it. How did you know? I was like, I got the warp whistle. I got the warp whistle. I got the cheat code. Okay, know where it's going. These are the things that when you've been in crypto for a while, you just kind of take for granted. Like, that when these gaps, especially if the gap is thin, right? Like, if we had opened today at like 55,000, then you could argue like maybe it's not going to pull back that much. But when you're just at 50,000 or 51,000, you're going to get that pullback to that CME gap almost every time. I set it overnight, but see, here's what happens. A lot of times these get filled overnight and you just miss it, because the futures trade from Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to Friday, I think at 4:30 Central Standard Time, I believe. And so they get filled overnight between Sunday and Monday. So I set my order and boom, hit it over the weekend. We're up like 20 grand in the trade right now. Really crushing it. I think this is going to continue to pump here. I'm expecting Bitcoin to go to $60,000 possibly in the next 10 to 15 days. I would say, let's see, today's the 8th. The 26th is when the futures, I would say in the next, was that 18 days? Yep, 18 days. I expect that to happen. So I do think we're going to go back above 60,000, maybe about 65,000. We have talked about also $85,000 being another target. I can see a retracement, a small temporary retracement after those options expire, and then climb again up through tax day, and we'll have to see what happens then. So let's move on here, guys. Let's look at the stimulus hopes, if you will. We got him. We got him. God, these people are so dumb. Oh, you can't counter trade the champ. Come on. Oh man, just know you got little rats. Squeak, 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 squeak. You got little rats in your chat. Squeak, 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 squeak. Okay. All right. Bitcoin retakes $50,000 on U.S. stimulus progress. Uniswap's Uni cracks the top 10. So the Senate approved Biden's stimulus plan on Saturday, paving the way for $1,400 checks and jobless aid. So unemployment will continue to, pump as well. A $1.9 trillion stimulus. Now, I told you guys on, I don't know why it's doing that. I told you guys on Saturday, I made a special video on Saturday night telling you guys that the stimulus had been approved. Because you may have heard people talking about stimulus approved for a long time, but it was always on the House side. The Senate would always shoot it down, especially towards the end of the last administration, because we know the cat and mouse game that goes around, or cat and rat game. We have our own cat and rat around here. But I was just thinking about. I want to pull something else up here, guys, real quick before we go deeper into that. Let's see. Is this it? Is this the? Oh, I can't find it. The cat, one of my researchers, he's on SoMe. He's one of the teams from members from SoMe. And, everybody else has a picture of themselves. His is a cat. His is a cat. I wish I could find that picture right now. I'm sure he'll send it to me because he hangs on every time we possibly mention. So anyways, guys, back to this. We got $1.9 trillion. That's why I made this video, because the Senate had approved it on Saturday night. And this is big because now it's getting signed into action. There's no doubt about it. If you come back and you look at the Bitcoin chart, let's go to the daily Bitcoin chart, and when the last stimulus happened, that would have been in where did the chart go? Where did the chart go here? I know it's around here somewhere. I've seen it. The chart has disappeared. We have no chart. We have no chart, guys. Okay, now come over here. Whoa. There it is. There it is. We found the chart. If you come back here at the previous time the stimulus got printed here, okay? Now, this obviously is the March crash from last year, and then I believe the stimulus money came in April, right about there. And then you guys see what it has done since then. It has absolutely crushed it. So right now, when it comes to the stimulus, I mean, look at that, guys. Look at this. That's the March crash. This is when the stimulus money came. Look at this. It's very easy to see what's about to happen. Now, let's see. What is the exact date of the first stimulus? First stimulus checks printed. Let's see what day that was. April 14th. So if we come here and we go to April 14th on this chart, let's see. April. Let's get our calculator on, or our. If you put Bitcoin, it's not a calculator. It's a measuring stick. If you got in Bitcoin right here, and you put your stimulus money in Bitcoin, you're up 852%. You think people don't know that stat now?
That's crazy.
You think people don't know that stat? You don't know all the people that bought a used, Honda Civic with their stimulus check, and they're looking at what they could have had, and they're like, my gosh, I could have got a 10 years newer one.
Or how about everybody who did buy Bitcoin with that stimulus check? You don't think they're going to do it again?
Yeah, exactly. So we are looking at a massive upswing. So if we got an 852% upswing from where we're at now, golly, I mean, that would be insane. There's no way that's going to happen. But if it did, let's just be hypothetical here. if it did go up 852%. And we don't know where Bitcoin is going to be when this happens. So let's just kind of do it rough here. 852%. Let's see. Right now, price is about $50,000.
It's like 425.
Golly.
That's crazy.
Okay, 852% would put it at 473K. Is that unbelievable or what?
Yeah.
And I think we could really do it from this number right here, because in March, right before it had a crash too, just like we just had a crash. So we're measuring from the current day, and who knows where it'll be in a few days from now. So guys, this stimulus is going to pump Bitcoin to the moon, but also Ethereum. We're going to talk about Ethereum in just a second. Ethereum is raucous. It is getting ready to blow. I'm going to show you guys something on this Ethereum chart that I don't know how to say this tactfully, TJ. It's got me turned on.
Oh boy.
I'm real turned on looking at ETH right now. Like, I'm looking at it like, ooh, yeah. You guys like that?
Looking at it like what?
Like, ooh, ooh, yeah. That's my move right there. You know, that's my wife. That's my move. She knows. She knows what this means. Oh, yeah. She's like, TJ knows what it means, too.
Yeah.
We've established it's my only sexy move I have on this channel. Men who cook, 80% more sexy than men that don't.
I saw that on Twitter.
If you think I'm sexy now, you couldn't handle me cooking.
Yeah.
I don't cook, guys.
Yeah. You're too picky to cook.
I am way too picky to cook. And not just that, I'm impatient. I'm too impatient to cook. I want it done now. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk about George Soros. A lot of you guys love George Soros, right? This is the most talked about man on the internet that nobody knows who he is. Am I wrong on that?
I have no idea.
If you're a Republican, you love George Soros. I wonder what Democrats think about George Soros.
I thought everybody hated Soros.
I don't know. I don't know whether he's a big donor for, Democratic stuff, but he is like the well, I would be careful what I say here. I don't want to I'm just saying, like, if you're a Republican, you see George Soros as like probably the number one enemy and the number one fixture of conspiracy theories.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
They own the central banks, basically.
Central banks, very aligned with central banks. Now, George Soros and Morgan Stanley joining $200 million investment in Bitcoin firm. And by the way, guys, I do want to tell you this quick story yesterday. So I told you guys, I think last week, that maybe my cousin is an attorney for investment bankers. And I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but I said something. He works for JP Morgan, like as one of his clients or something like that. And I told him, like, I immediately said, "Oh, I hate JP Morgan." My son had heard it. And yesterday we're driving around the car and we were talking about my list of enemies, because of course that's what we do when we're driving around on a Sunday, right? And my son said, "Well, I know, Dad, if you ever met JP Morgan, you'd knock him out." I had to explain to him that JP Morgan was dead. That was funny. Like, he thought this is like one of my arch enemies. It's a business, son. It's a business. So NYDIG, the firm that facilitated Mass Mutual's $100 million Bitcoin buy last year, has raised $200 million from a cadre of big-name investors. This round included Stone Ridge Holdings Group, Morgan Stanley, New York Life, Mass Mutual. Is that Massachusetts Mutual? Is that what that stands for? Or does it mean like massive?
Probably.
Have they been watching my videos?
Probably.
Massive Mutual. Is it? No. Soros Fund Management and FS Investments, New York Dig announced Monday. Past investors, Bessemer Venture Partners and FinTech Collective also participated. The firms participating in this round are more than investors. They're partners, each well known to us for years. I want to know, guys, I want to know in the chat what you guys think about this. Do you view this as a positive story or a negative story? And then I'm going to guess your political affiliation based upon that. It is very interesting, though. I mean, this guy's got a lot of money. And you know what's interesting to me is that Morgan Stanley, obviously, is a really big name here. Morgan Stanley, big name. But look what they included first. Soros. They want everybody to know this is Soros, George Soros' funds, getting into crypto. Now, obviously, he's had crypto before. We've had some stories about him owning some Bitcoin before, I believe. But in New York Dig is going to be working with these firms on Bitcoin-related strategic initiatives spanning investment management, insurance, banking, clean energy, and philanthropy, which, I don't know. Basically, all 5 of these things I could argue are giant Ponzi schemes. But would you agree, TJ?
Yeah, I mean, it's all a lot of smoke and mirrors.
It is. Philanthropy especially. Now, just so you guys know, we are philanthropic around here. We are actually going to be doing our own. We may be the first crypto YouTube channel to come out with our own foundation. But we are going to be doing a foundation to give money to different organizations. We'll be telling you guys more about that, in the future. Also, our Bitcoin giveaway, we're going to be doing full Bitcoin giveaway to one person. You're going to win one full Bitcoin if you're a subscriber to the channel. We're going to be organizing that today, and we'll be talking about that more as the week goes on as we push towards 1 million subscribers. If we get to 1 million as fast as we got from 200 to 600K, it'll only be about 6 weeks from now. We'll be giving away a full Bitcoin. Bitcoin could be 6 figures at that point. Also, 5 Ethereum will be given away as well. But guys, this is just more companies are getting into crypto. More people are getting into crypto. And this is the way you got to look at it, right? With each group that comes into crypto or each big investment fund, while you may or may not agree with their politics or, their investment strategy or whatever it may be, every time we get these people coming in, the ground floor for where Bitcoin can go is getting higher and higher. The top side, all speculation, we know that. The bottom side, there are some anchors keeping certain price points in play. And I believe this weekend, I'm going to have a 2-part interview with one of the biggest names in all of crypto. Super excited about this. I'm going to be discussing with one of the biggest names in crypto and in investing period, what he thinks about companies and investment funds coming in and what he thinks that ground floor is. Because I'm really interested to see that. Because here's what we see. You would think there's almost like a sunken cost that goes into crypto, right? Where you say, okay, right now the price of Bitcoin's at $6,000. I'm just going to put all my money into Bitcoin at $6,000. I'm just going to let it ride. I'm not going to buy as it goes up because you're making so much money, right? Once the price hit $12,000, you'd have had to buy twice as many Bitcoin to get the same amount that you bought at $6,000. Now imagine if the price goes back up to $60,000, you'd have had to buy 10 times more Bitcoin right now to match that original investment. That does not scare off a lot of these investors. And we bought Bitcoin, or we bought Cardano, for instance, under 10 cents, but yet we still kept buying more even as the price went up. The amount we could have got for $500,000 when we actually made our big Cardano purchase was way, way, way less than we would have got it. We would have bought it 2 or 3 months ago. But you just start seeing the train is leaving the station, and you really want to get on in those last price points. That's when we see these companies still continuing to buy even as the price of Bitcoin goes up. So guys, let's look at the Ethereum chart.
And real quick before we jump into Ethereum, since I know we have
on screen here, TJ.
Oh, okay. Since I know we have a lot of Ethereum fans in the chat here, we got 16,000 people watching, only 2,000 likes. I think we can get that like number up to about 5,000. So if you're a big fan of ETH, I know we saw you say it in the chat earlier, but smash the likes too, just so we can get this video out to more people. Smash
that like. If you like Ethereum, smash it. We want to see it. Okay, guys, let's look at Ethereum. Now, this video I'm going to be putting out tonight is very interesting because when you really start looking at what went on, because none of us believed that the price of Ethereum would top out, around $2,100. We all felt like this was going up upwards of $3,000 in February. Then, of course, we got this massive, massive fall right here. Okay, this is a 4-hour chart, and you see the yellow X's on market cipher, which I know it's a little bit hard to see here. Let me stretch it out a little bit. These yellow X's here are manipulation, okay? You get manipulation in the markets, and if you notice, that manipulation usually comes in near bottoms. Why is that? Because eventually the manipulation runs out of steam. That's why these people kind of trying to counter trade me. Eventually they run out of steam. They can only push it so far. That's what we see. And so right now, I want to show you guys something with the Ethereum hourly chart. And I tell you what, this is exciting, guys. This is really, really, really exciting to me. And it should be to you as well. Now, usually when we get green dots, we are looking for green dots at the bottom of the chart, okay? We're not looking for them right here even. These are the momentum waves, okay? These blue waves here, these are momentum waves. You can get a green dot on the momentum wave And it's great, but it's not nearly as powerful as the ones, earlier on, which we haven't had a green dot in Ethereum. What you guys think about this on the daily chart since last March? Almost a year we haven't had one. Matthew says, hello, BitBoy. Any thoughts on Eternity Chain launch today? NFTs, love your channel. We got a lot more stuff coming on NFTs. We actually are invested in that project, so we do like that project. We retweeted something from them on Twitter. That's something you can look for us to talk a little bit more about in the future. We think NFTs are the new DeFi right now, and it's happening. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. Oh, you never moved to Ethereum chart, TJ. Never moved to Ethereum chart.
My buttons got all mixed up.
No, so we'll probably abbreviate this because I really want to show you guys one thing here. When you look back at the chart, March was the last time we got a green dot. That's last March. Why? Because Ethereum's been moving so well, it really hasn't been, down low enough to get a big green dot on the bottom of the chart. Which, by the way, Market Cipher pisses people off. We've seen that, right, DJ?
Yeah.
People get so angry that we're able to crush. This is actually why those people came after us. They're so mad that we have been able to use an indicator and make more money than 90% of people in that group without having to do any technical analysis other than read the indicator. Without having to go through years of learning how to trade and do this. And it's a shortcut. Like, you know what I think about is like that clickbait thumbnail that's like a guy that looks like the Hulk and it's like, chicks like him, dudes love him. Something like that. Like normal people hate him because he's so big. He found the cheat code. He found the way to get absolutely massive in the gym without, having to go through all the years of work that a lot of people require. Now, that's obviously clickbait. That doesn't really happen. You have to work in the gym, obviously, to get big. But with Market Cipher, and if you want to get Market Cipher, you guys can do that by going to bitboycrypto.com/deals and clicking Market Cipher. Very, very easy to find. But what we're seeing is people are very mad at us because we make so much money and do so well that they just try to push the price down. They want to embarrass Market Cipher. They want to embarrass us because we kill it. And a lot of you guys out there, the BitSquad is killing it. I get tons of messages from you guys talking about this. Look, guys, this is what's going on with Market Cipher. We've had the biggest dip on the bottom side of the momentum waves right here. We've had the biggest dip that we've seen since October. Okay, if you look back over the last year, we haven't had too many times. The money flow has not gone into the red a single time. But what happened since 2019, it hasn't, or January of 2020. But what we're seeing right now is that we just got a big downswing, the first one in this real bull market. Now, when we look at Market Cipher, here's what I'm so excited about, guys. And I want to show you guys this. Usually, this is not that sexy. When we get a green dot at the top of the chart, this basically means a bullish pattern is emerging. It is bull time. It is moon time, okay? Now, on the hourly chart, it's not that sexy, okay? When you look at the hourly chart, you see this on top. It's like, okay, it could go up, could go down, not that big of a deal. But on the daily chart, okay, we have not seen, for Ethereum, one of these green dots. And if you look, they're extremely rare, okay? In the last 1 year, there has been 2 of them. That's it. Only 2. You look back at, this was April of last year, right when things went mega bullish, okay? Then things went up. DeFi Craze happened. Things stalled out to the side. Then we got another one. We got another one here in October. Now, let's see what Ethereum is. Let's see the high that went to since that green dot. Looking at Bitcoin, 852%. For Ethereum, since the last green dot, just in October, this isn't going back to March of last year. This is just going back to October. Since October, almost 500%. So where would that put us now with this green dot? We always like to look at those numbers, right? If we were to go up 478% from here, and that would have been about, 5 months? Let's say about 5 months. That means that in the next 5 months, we could be looking at the price of Ethereum going up to $10,000. Look at that. Pretty much $10,000 is what we're looking at. And I think we can see that around the beginning of summer. Then we see a pullback. And then we see another run like that will get us up above $20,000. Hopefully $27,000 is what we're looking at. But this Ethereum chart, when I woke up, somebody sent me this. And guys, I'll reference a lot of times something that someone sent me, and I will not credit that person specifically. It's not because I'm not trying to. It's because I always forget who it was, and I can't find it. I get thousands of messages a day from people. I shouldn't even say this out loud, but I recently opened my Twitter DMs. Now it will come across as a message request, and it won't necessarily be where I'll respond. But even people that I'm not following can send me messages now, and if you got information, you can send it there. I try to peruse through it. It's so many, it's insane. Sometimes I get some good information, like somebody pointed this one out to me right here. And man, it is really, really impressive where this thing could be going in the near future. I'm super excited about it. If you love ETH, make sure to smash the like button. Is Ethereum? Do you love this phrase, TJ? Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is Ethereum the new Bitcoin? What do you think, TJ? Is it the new Bitcoin?
No.
No.
Bitcoin's the new Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is the new Bitcoin. Now, why do you think I'm saying that, TJ?
I have no idea. It's ready to pump.
It's ready to pump? No, that has nothing to do with it. Is Ethereum the new Bitcoin for institutional investors?
Yeah, corporate money.
Is Ethereum the new Bitcoin for corporate money? When we look at the amount of Bitcoin that's not moving around the supply, it's absolutely insane. It's coming out in droves. And right now what we're seeing is we are seeing companies start to add Ethereum to their corporate balance sheets. That's why, if you want to know why Bitcoin, and let's look real quick at the Bitcoin chart. Let's see what Bitcoin has done in terms of because we looked what it had done in the last year or since the stimulus checks. Let's look and see what Bitcoin has done since October only. And then let's match that up to Ethereum. It was like October 13th. We'll just get it roughly here. Oh, wow, that's interesting. You see that? I know it's hard to see because the chart's kind of small here. Ethereum and Bitcoin have basically performed the exact same since October.
Interesting.
Both about 450%. Pretty interesting. So Ethereum, the reason why Bitcoin has been hanging with Ethereum, is because of all these corporations buying Bitcoin. That's why Tesla pumped Bitcoin right about when Ethereum should have started running. And that was great for our Bitcoin bags. It wasn't great for Valentine's Day predictions that some people may or may not have made. But I love when they use this, crypto long and short. This is like a title they use. This is like a blog title. Did they take that from me?
Doubt it.
Definitely. I coined that phrase, the long and short of it. I've been using that for years. Am I right?
Yeah. I mean, I say it now because I hear you say it so much.
Such a great phrase.
It is.
You know why I always say it? Because I know I've got a really simple thing to tell you, but I know it's going to take a long time.
Sounds about right.
Sounds about right, doesn't it? Is ETH coming to corporate balance sheets? Yes, but Ether isn't replacing Bitcoin as a reserve asset. It belongs elsewhere. This is from Old Noel. It's weird because she does have two L's in her name, but whatever, I guess. MicroStrategy, Tesla, and Square have done it, so many others, although more quietly. I'm talking about corporate treasury reserves in Bitcoin. Whether it's a good idea or not, that's up to each corporate treasurer to decide. One question we're starting to hear is, what about ETH? What about Ethereum? Bitcoin's harder to get right now. Would the native token of the Ethereum blockchain make a good reserve sheet? The main arguments for Bitcoin as a corporate reserve asset are the asymmetric risk return, part of a future first strategy, which much better than a past first strategy, am I right?
Yeah.
In preparation for accepting Bitcoin as payment, it's more likely to hold its value going forward than the dollar. Critics will point out that Bitcoin's way too volatile to be a store of value. That's a short-term view of the concept, however. Over the next week, month, perhaps even year, Bitcoin's price may fall relative to fiat currencies. Longer term, however, in an environment of money supply increasing much faster than demand, parabolic and money supply, a fixed supply bearer asset such as Bitcoin is likely to appreciate in value relative to assets without a fixed supply, such as the US dollar, or some would argue, Ethereum, but maybe not for long. Ethereum is seen, and I've told you guys, we're seeing two narratives develop with Ethereum. We've seen the narrative where Ethereum as technology as a platform is going to be used, and we see the speculation side of it also. There are two different tracks. Ethereum is seen more as a technology play. More than that, it's one of the more liquid experimental technology plays accessible to investors today. It's not just trying to build a faster rocket or streamline dentistry. Did somebody say tooth hurty? It's aiming to reinvent the way automated applications of any type are run. Its goal is to build the ultimate base layer of global digital economy. As a well-known macro analyst, Jim Bianco, said earlier this week, decentralized finance is recreating the entire financial system. Ethereum-based applications are also likely to impact markets, governance, energy, public services, perhaps even how identity is managed. Ether is needed to power applications, yada, yada, yada. This is the important part here, guys. The accumulation of Ether... Let me say that again. The accumulation of Ether as working capital may have already started. This week, #MeToo, a software and social media app company listed on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange. Maybe not the best association there. Sorry, guys. I just meant like #MeToo, like they also are buying Ethereum. That's what I meant. Disclosed purchases in Bitcoin and Ether of approximately $18 million and $22 million respectively. Had this to say about their purchase. Well, we're not going to get into that. We're going to actually look at what they did do here. They bought $40 million worth of Bitcoin and Ethereum. $221 million worth of Ether. And guys, look. $22.1 million worth of Ether. $17.9 million worth of Bitcoin. If you're watching this video right now, I want to honestly ask you, are you more excited about Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? What's number one in your portfolio? Is it Bitcoin? For older investors, and people who have been around a long time, the answer to that is probably yes, it's probably Bitcoin. For newer people coming in, they're coming in for Ethereum, they're coming in for Cardano, they're coming in for altcoins. Why? The most life-changing gains with Bitcoin ever have already been produced. We know that. It went from 4 Bitcoin for $1 or 4 Bitcoin for a penny to 1 Bitcoin being worth almost $60,000. With Ethereum, the market cap is about a fourth of what Bitcoin's is right now. Is that right? Is that number correct? That's about a guess. Let's see what it actually is. Almost between a fourth and the fifth, right? So 200 billion versus almost $1 trillion. God, Bitcoin's going to hit a $1 trillion market cap this week. I believe that. It already was over $1 trillion, though, wasn't it? That's not big news. It was for a minute. But what you're seeing is these companies are going to take the same kind of approach that investors are taking. Ethereum has higher potential. Bitcoin, how much higher can it get? I mean, my gosh, it's $1 trillion market cap. It's leading the entire market. They're starting to look at things that are safe, that do not have huge risk to the downside, but can produce bigger gains down the road. Because I believe Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin this year. It's outperformed it the last 3 years in a row. So I believe it will continue to do that. And a lot of these people are saying, we missed out on Bitcoin in our treasury. Let's get a fourth the amount of Ethereum. And if it 4-time outperformed Bitcoin, we'll have the same amount of money in our treasury. SEC has already said Ethereum is not a security. It's not going to ever come after Ethereum. There's a lot of safety in that. And I believe that's what we're seeing. And what was this other story? I didn't... crypto coin. Here's my favorite part of this article. Talking about Ethereum here. Crypto coin outperforming Bitcoin is about to see supply reduced. Who says crypto coin?
Yahoo Finance.
Look at that. Old Marbrand Transport says ETH all the way got 1 Bitcoin and 120 Ethereum.
Yeah, a lot of comments saying ETH is their
Look at
biggest
all that
holding.
ETH.
Yeah.
Obviously, guys, look at all that ETH.
A lot of ETH and ADA in the chat for sure.
Someone said Charlie Brown coin. Got to get into that one. Well, if it's a scam, it'll end up being, instead of a rug pull, it'd be a football pull. That's what they'll call it. See if Charlie Brown kick.
Yep, that was good.
She moves it.
Ha, 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 ha.
Okay, all right. So NFT Craze, guys. This is something that's been very interesting going on over this weekend. I talked about it a little bit Sunday morning. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey meant, or maybe it was Saturday. Did I say Saturday morning or Sunday? Saturday morning is when I talked about it. Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey minted the first ever published tweet on Ethereum service. Now, this wasn't his first tweet. This was Twitter's first tweet ever. And then it was like just set up a Twitter. Doesn't show it on here.
Yeah, and he spelled Twitter wrong.
Yeah, he spelled Twitter wrong. $88,888. Didn't Justin Sun bid $2 million?
I heard that. Yeah, I don't
know if that's true. I thought Tron could come out with their own NFT, which would be pretty cool. It would basically just be an announcement card. Only OGs remember.
That's a good one. That was a good one.
2 in one stream? Wow. So guys, this is on Cent. Now, here is the problem. And guys, the maximalists, the Bitcoin maximalists, they're like babies on the ground, stomping their fists and kicking their legs in the ground. They are so mad about this. Jack Dorsey, known Bitcoin maximalist. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Known Bitcoin maximalist. Guys, can you make an NFT on Bitcoin? No. This is why the maximalists are so angry about this. Not only is he promoting an Ethereum-based service, but they do not want NFTs to thrive because that gets them lumped in with DeFi. Another thing the Bitcoin maximalists hate. The entire thing about Bitcoin, right? Originally, sound money, hard money, the hardest money we've ever seen. It's money, 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 money. And yet DeFi is built on Ethereum and Cardano and Polkadot coming in the future. Binance chain. DeFi is built on other chains. It's not built on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is gold. It's time for these people to wake up. The funny thing is that some of them have gotten on the narrative that it's gold, but they're still maximalists. How does that even make sense, TJ? Because you're one.
What's the question exactly?
Come on the screen so they can see your maxi face.
Oh, now they can see Mike High in the background.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
What's the question?
The question is, if a lot of these maximalists have turned from the electronic currency argument to the digital gold argument, how can they possibly still be maximalists if they start seeing that it's gold, not necessarily programmable money?
I just think they maintain that it's the highest form of value possible, and that it's going to continue to go up over time, and they're happy to sit on it and just wait for it to become like a gold where they think everything, all value in the world will be based on Bitcoin, and so they're just happy to wait for it.
And you kind of agree with that?
I think that's a possibility. I don't think it's 100% guaranteed, but I think it is within the realm of possibility.
So guys, TJ just relapsed. I welcomed him into Altcoins Anonymous. I would say this. TJ, would you say when you got here that you were more maximalish or are you less maximalish now?
I would always say, I've always been
What's your portfolio say?
Yeah, I'm probably less maximalish. I probably have less Bitcoin now. But here's also, would you say you were less maximalish when I got here than you are now? What does your portfolio say?
I'm in sideways action. Well, look, we are stacking up Bitcoin. There's no question about it. We are stacking up Bitcoin right now. We're in a different place than we were, 6 months ago.
So you've got more Bitcoin than you used to when I got here, and I've got more altcoins than I used to when I got here. Yeah.
Well, but my thing is, like, at this point where I'm at, financially and with our portfolios, like, I don't mind having a hedge. We've already got to the point where guys know, you see the numbers, and guys, we're going to be going even more transparent. We're thinking about just showing all our crypto holdings because we don't care. If you want that, let us know. We want to show you everything we got, not just percentages, but numbers, because I want to be completely transparent on this channel because there's a lot of things that get said out there in the ethos, and they're 100% inaccurate about what we do here. We're 100% transparent on this channel, and we want to get to where we even show that even more, because there's a lot of people out there just backbiting and just talking smack, and they have no idea what they're talking about. And for that reason, right now, we have gone to a new place financially with trading and with other things we do. And so originally my goal was, when I started this channel, was to eventually buy a house with cash and do a lot of different things. I achieved all that. I did all that. Now we're at a place where it is more about protecting what we have, which is the whole reason why maximalists get so elitist. It's not because they really believe that Bitcoin is the only one that's going to make it. It's because they've got so much Bitcoin, it doesn't make sense for them to go and just start throwing money into altcoins that could drop or could fail. They trust Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is very trustworthy. Bitcoin as a hedge is superior to any other coin, right? That's why right now we're stacking up Bitcoin. We don't mind stacking it up. We're not at a place where we're trying to get 100x gains at this point. We do still do that sometimes. We do investments. We get in private sales. We've got all kinds of things that still produce a lot of money. But what I would say is once you make it, once you get to achieve all your dreams or your financial freedom that you want, then it is good to start talking about hedging, and that's what Bitcoin is great at. So what do you think, TJ?
I would agree with all of that. Yeah.
So another thing I want to show guys real quick. Also, make sure you guys are following us on Twitter. Let me just click profile here. 171.2. We're trying to get to 180K by the end of this week. By the end of this month of March, we would like to be like the #1 crypto YouTuber on here. We have a few that are ahead of us, which we like those people too, but we will be nice to them when we pass them. But guys, also speaking of NFTs here, we had Taco Bell, guys. Look at this. Taco Bell has released their own NFT. And that's what I want to tell you. Our spicy potato soft tacos now can live in your hearts, stomachs, and digital wallets. I thought spicy potatoes are out there. I love those. Have you ever had those?
Spicy potatoes?
Yeah, they were like the little potato wedges cut into little. They're really good. I used to
Made
love
by
those.
Taco Bell?
Yeah, they used to put cheese and sour cream on them. I liked them.
Well, I haven't
seen them, but
I've been mostly Del Taco when I was in California. So
yeah, Del Taco is like the healthier one. Like if I'm gonna eat tacos, like I want to feel disgusting.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. I want a Doritos Locos taco,
gosh.
and I want to like go back to what I was doing with as a teenager when I had the munchies, except for minus the thing that gives you the munchies. I like, what was the thing you do with your friends on Friday nights when you go have sleepovers and stuff when you're a teenager? Taco Bell and Mountain Dew. Doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah.
But guys, NFTs are everywhere. When Taco Bell, the official Taco Bell account, is coming out with their own NFTs, pay attention. Think about this. Anyone who really, really, really loves Taco Bell, like that's your jam. That's your A&W Diet Root Beer.
Oh, gosh.
Okay? They're going to be interested in this. They'll have it forever. And when you think that every company, every celebrity, every sports person has things like this, has dedicated fans out there, YouTubers, people are going to buy these up, and they are rare. The supply and demand of these NFTs will fix itself. So don't get overextended in these things. If a price sounds way too high, then don't buy it. But the supply and demand of all this will fix itself. Because these are all pockets of communities out there that are buying into these. It's not like one giant pool of NFTs. Like, if you love Del Taco, you don't think it's sexy to get a Taco Bell NFT, am I right?
Yep. It's funny, my brother and I were actually talking about this over the weekend, how it doesn't matter what the community is. There's a small subculture, die-hard fan of almost anything you can imagine on the internet. There is a culture for it. So I think NFTs will be one of those things that really gives away, like you said, for people to show pride and show love for the stuff that they really love and care about on the internet. They're more for fun, but I think it'll be really interesting to see how it all develops over the next 6 months to 10 years.
I'm going to say something that sounds maybe crazy.
Uh-oh.
NFTs may be the new tattoos.
Oh, interesting.
I'm just saying.
I kind of like that.
Because how do people express who they are? Well, for a while, it's tattoos. Everybody's getting tattoos. I got a falcon on my shoulder. It's cover up. We talked about it. Let's leave that there. Okay. Kind of looked like a largemouth bass. Now it's a falcon. Okay. But here's what I'll tell you. Is that I was actually talking to somebody over the weekend, and I mentioned a tattoo to them, and they said, I would never get tattooed. Like, my parents have tattoos. Somebody that's a little younger, And I was like, I've said that was going to happen for years. And it seemed like maybe I was going to be wrong, that eventually people would not get a bunch they would just say, my parents have tattoos. That's so lame. And everybody told me I was crazy for saying that. Everything comes in cycles. Fashion, everything. I believe that we are starting to see, our TikTok went off for some reason. That's weird. We're starting to see that with tattoos. A lot of people say, look, J-Chain's got tattoos. We love J-Chains. We love people with tattoos. But I was watching the NBA All-Star game last night, and man, it was so interesting because for years, I remembered watching basketball games, and every single one of those players were covered in sleeves.
Yep.
Remember? Mm-hmm. Last night on the West side, no, it wasn't the West because they've got whatever they did at the yellow team. And I didn't even see the other team, what they had. The only player on that team that had tattoos was LeBron James.
Interesting.
The Greek Freak, no tattoos. Steph Curry, no tattoos. Kawhi Leonard, no tattoos. I can't remember who the other guy was. No tattoos. Jason Tatum, a little tattoo just under his jersey, right? I think tattoos are phasing out. People will always look for ways to express themselves. And I think NFTs could be the new way people are expressing themselves. Very interesting.
Interesting.
I was just thinking that last night. Okay, so I want to show you guys this tweet here. Talk about max crypto profits. This is Peter Brandt. Now, this guy, he got one of my favorite people suspended off Twitter. So I'm not a big fan of Peter, okay? But this is what he said. He said, full disclosure, I am not a BTC maximalist. Well, I can respect him for that. In 46 years trading, I've never seen a more exciting market with a similar narrative. That's impressive. My largest current single non-real estate holding is Bitcoin. I can dig it. Yet for me, BTC is just another market to be traded like beans or treasury notes or sugar. And, you know, I respect that on a certain level. Trading itself is certainly just like this. You're only looking at numbers and you're trading. Look, when I'm on Bybit and I'm making moves, I don't give a flip about what's happening that day. All I care about is my trades. That's my trading life. In my real crypto life, I care deeply about decentralization. That's why I do this. If you guys don't know, I do this because I care about decentralization, because I've been screwed by centralization in my life. And I'm sure at some point this channel will get bit by centralization. It's just how it goes. And we're prepared for that. But all I'll say is the trading is cyclical, okay? And it is just based on charts and numbers. But I want you guys to look at something very interesting here on this chart. This is him measuring all the first 11 years of Bitcoin. Look at where he has the end of this thing. Look at that. September of this year. What have I told you guys? Bull run ends September of this year. I've been getting some hate on Twitter for people saying things like, don't FUD the market. Don't say the bull market's going to end. Don't say that. It is. I don't care if I make enemies on the way to saying that. I'll make many more enemies for people if I were the kind of person that would just keep telling you to buy, keep telling you to buy, and keep telling you to buy all the way up until September 27th, day before the bull market ends or whatever it's going to be. I make a lot more enemies when those people go mortgage their houses and lose everything. And I won't do that. I will not do that on this channel. I will not continue to push bull narratives when it is not bullish. Yes, temporary, we may have downward action, but overall right now, we're in a bull market. This will end at some point. You have to prepare yourselves for that. We're going to have our ultimate cash out plan for crypto tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But what I would say is the best way to make life-changing gains are to ride the wave. When it goes up, dollar cost average, scale out, get profits. When the market drops, you buy back in. You as a retail investor do not have the power to prevent a bear market. You just don't. It's going to get over-exaggerated. It's going to get too excited at some point. It's the way markets work. We're just fortunate that in Bitcoin, we know that it works on 4-year cycles. And that's cool. We love that because it gives us the advantage of understanding the market better than most people. And when you're watching this channel and we're giving you this, you have secret information that 99% of people out there do not have. Even though it's free to all. It's free to 100% of the people. But nobody knows and nobody listens, okay? But the point is that this will end. The way to make the maximum life-changing gains is to take advantage of the top and then buy back in at the bottom. Be greedy when others are fearful. Be fearful when others are greedy. Remember that, and you'll do okay. That's all we got. Make sure to comment down below. Let us know what you think. Smash that like button for us. Be blessed. Good boy out.